Hey, okay, welcome everybody to the Simeon Henderson show, where we are giving a voice to the people. I am super excited. I am happy about today. It is Wednesday. You know, we normally have the show on Thursdays, but it's Wednesday. It is Women's History Month. We're celebrating Women's History Month right here on the Simeon Henderson show, and we're going to continue to pay homage to the powerful, powerful women that are great mothers, they're great leaders, they're great business owners, they're great friends. And it's just one of those things where we have to understand and know that our women are powerful. So we're going to get the show going. I hope you guys are ready. Before we get going, I have to give a big shout out to my boy William Owens with Broken Kingdom. Broken Kingdom is his clothing line. You guys can check him out. He's the CEO. You can go to the Instagram. It's at Thrill No Chill and check it out. I'll be mentioning it again. It's Broken Kingdom. You guys have to understand that starting your own business and doing things for yourself is the way to go. You have to be self-sufficient, you have to be independent, and you have to be willing and ready to get it going. So look at that, Broken Kingdom. Broken Kingdom is one of our sponsors for the show tonight. And I just want to give a big shout out to our executive producer, Jamani Anamdi, and Jose Perez, and our creative director, Shelton Smith. We are going to have a great show. So I want you guys to get ready. Hold on to your seat belts because we have an exciting young lady here tonight. And if you ever wanted to know anything about numbers and you wanted to learn shortcuts and get it right, or even the long way around, she knows it all. So just get ready because it's going down on the Simeon Henderson show. And you know how we do it. We kick it off like this.
Ain't no stopping now, it ain't no stopping now. Ain't no stopping now, there ain't no stopping now. Ain't no stopping now, it ain't no stopping now. Ain't no stopping now, it ain't no stopping now. This what you wanted, cause ain't no turning back. This what you wanted, cause ain't no turning back.
All right, guys, it's that time. You're watching the Simeon Henderson show where we're giving a voice to the people, and I'm going to take her out for a second because I don't want you to see her while I'm doing the introduction for her. But you're watching the Simeon Henderson show where we're giving a voice to the people. Ladies and gentlemen, the Simeon Henderson show, we're excited. We're super excited to embark upon this month, because we're celebrating Women History Month. That's right, Women History Month. Like, you remember the movie Hidden Figures, the movie Hidden Figures. Well, tonight we're pleased to have with us the math genius. That's Lamailede Assata Moore. She's a math genius, and Assata is the founder of the Summer Accelerated Mathematics Camp. She is an educator and investor, maintaining a professional career for 25 years. Assata is a model genius for STEM education. And you know, that's science, technology, engineering, and math. That's one of those high-tech programs. And as a result, Assata's financial success, because of her wealth of information and knowledge with figures, she has a six-figure principalship at the age of 41. I'm sorry, guys. I'm super excited and I'm ready to go. And the incredible work of Assata, it earned her a PAE MST nomination through the Obama administration. And like Hidden Figures, Assata Moore is she's a modern day mathematician. She is just very smart, but not only that, she's very personable, and she knows her stuff. So without further ado, I want to welcome to the Simeon Henderson show, Miss Lamailede Assata Moore. Hey, how you doing?
Thank you. I am fantastic, Simeon. Thanks for having me here. I really appreciate it, and looking forward to it.
It's so cool. When I knew that you were going to be on the show, right? It was so funny because I'm like, oh man, she's a mathematician. And it's like, okay, How do I interview her? What do we talk about? Because math was not a great subject for me, but it was something I knew that was necessary.
Yes.
I knew it was necessary not only to graduate, but I knew it was necessary for me to know math when it came to business and work, or, you know, getting a paycheck and things like that. So as we welcome you to the show, I want to say congratulations on your success as an educator, as an investor, and the ability to retire at the age of 41. Come on, somebody.
Thank you.
It's just when you can create wealth and you can have multiple streams of income, it's something that's going to benefit you in the long run. And like before we get on the show, I was telling you, there's one thing that you do that you're going to have to teach me how to do, because I think we can't be the keeper of knowledge and not help people. So we have to help people. And that's what this show is about. So people are going to get some knowledge from you. I mean, you're an author, you're a mathematician, you're a businesswoman. So I want to start with this. Talk to us about your personal background, you know, with receiving your education. How did it all start for you?
Oh, absolutely. And so you referred to me as smart. Well, that's me being no different than anyone else. And so the difference is, what do you do with those smarts, right? And so really, it's not that I'm smart, it's that I made different choices. And
Okay.
so I grew up on the south side of Chicago in the Atlantic Park projects, went to public school my whole life, graduated from Gage Park High School over on the southwest side. And from there, I went to Michigan State University, and I studied mathematics and engineering, and I started volunteering at an African-centered charter school, Sankofa Shule, under the leadership of Dr. Fred Rivers. And it was there that I got immersed in Black culture. And while at Michigan State, of course, I'm still learning my studies. And I started teaching engineering and mathematics concepts that I was learning in college at the middle school where I was located, and eventually came back to Chicago, purchased a property, and just kind of moved through the ranks from being a teacher to a mathematics department chair, and then eventually a principal and a district level administrator. Now, I didn't go to school for teaching. I went to school for mathematics and for engineering. But because of my skills in being able to problem solve, I was able to rise through the ranks without the official credentials of, if you will, of being a principal.
Okay. That's a lot. That's a lot. So now tell us about your work in education and finance.
Yes. So when I was in Lansing, Michigan, since I didn't go to, quote unquote, traditional education teaching school, I didn't have the inhibiting factors that many people have when it comes to working with Black children. And so I didn't go in with it, they can't. I just went in wide open. And I was able to have these young people, middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students taking physics, learning trig, being introduced to calculus. We went on a trip to Egypt where we studied the mathematics of the pyramids. And again, these are 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students. And so I was able to do that. And then in Chicago with the young people, when I came here, the same type of thing. So it doesn't matter where the children are at, children have them in a genius. And as educators and then parents, educate means to educe. The root word is educe, means to bring out. Yeah. And all we're simply doing is bringing out the genius in our children. But we have to do that in a way that is respectful and in a way that honors and recognizes their genius and their intellect.
Yes. So when you talk about the kids, so I don't know if you know this about me, my background is in education. I have my master's in administration of education. So I worked as a teacher for almost 20 years. And then I worked in administration as the dean of students, as well as working downtown. So I'm well versed in childcare and in the raising and educating of our children. And it's one of those things where you really have to have a heart for what you're doing. You have to have a heart for people. You have to really care about these kids, because you take on a lot of different hats and roles. You're the teacher, you're the parent, the counselor, you're the coach, and things like that. So I want you to tell us this. When and how did you become so fascinated with mathematics?
Okay. So, well, first, I did know that about you. And so thanks to my coach, Sarita Love, for doing her thing, and for sheltering on you and your end for making sure that we were able to make this happen tonight. So thank you to them all. But I didn't really understand it as a fascination. I do remember when I was in about 8th grade, My mathematics teacher at the time, my 7th and 8th grade mathematics teacher, when it was time to transition, they suggested that I go to Lindblom and take mathematics in the morning with the high school students and then come back to school and finish the rest of my 8th grade studies. And so that was the piece for me. And then I just continued like, okay, well, maybe I major in mathematics. And then I was able to just see the patterns and the relationships and realize that mathematics is the beautiful language of the universe. It's mathematics that we use to describe everything. I mean, with COVID right now, how they're able to put those numbers and figures and let us know where this thing is going is because of calculus. They're studying the rate of change of how things are happening. All the technology that's involved behind this program that we're on right now to even do this show. Right. And so I just realized that mathematics was everything. And in fact, you know, if I'm speaking to, you know, my partner, Freddie Taylor of Urban Intellectuals, he would say, you know, mathematics is the blackest thing ever. So not only was it everything, but it was the blackest thing ever.
Now, why was it the blackest thing ever?
Well, part of what we're having to do specifically as people of African descent, as Black people, is we having to reclaim what was ours. And it's important that we do that. And so when you study mathematics, you look at any particular book, you probably remember learning about the Pythagorean theorem, right? And you may have heard of Charles Darwin and Thomas Edison, correct?
Yeah, yes.
All right. But where did they learn from? They learned from us. And so over 40,000 years ago, in the Lomomo Mountains in the southern part of Africa, there was a bone that was found. The Lomomo bone is what it's called, that showed that Black women were the first ones doing mathematics over 40,000 years ago because of the markings that coincide with the lunar calendar. You go 15,000 years later, and you have the Ishango bone in the Ishango region of Central Africa. And there you find more evidence that it was Black people that were doing mathematics. And then you go to Egypt, where most of us are most familiar with, and you see that it was the Greeks. It was white folks coming from all over Europe, Arabs that came over, and they were learning mathematics from Egyptians, Black Egyptians, not the Egyptians that look like the Egyptians of today. So when you hit a Pythagorean theorem, what they don't tell you is that Black folks were using that ratio, A squared plus B squared equals C squared, thousands of years before he came along.
Wow.
It's if you measure the dimensions in the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid, those pyramids are called the African names, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. You will find that that ratio was there thousands of years before Pythagoras came along.
Wow. And see, that's what's so cool about when you take to heart what you do. You go and you do the study, you do the research, you find out things that normal people wouldn't know about what you do, because it's what it means a lot to you. So you get in it. And I think that's what a lot of people have to realize. If you're walking in your purpose and you're pursuing your passion and your goals and your dreams, it behooves you to really study and get a hold and get knowledge about what it is that you say you do.
Right.
And
right.
I think a lot, look, and I think a lot
it's
of
what
us,
you say you do. So do
right.
it. Right.
Do what you say you do.
Right.
So I want you to talk to us a little bit about your books. So your books, and I'm going to put them up here. So your books, I'm always, and I'll tell you this, I'm always intrigued by books now, because growing up, I had an IEP. I couldn't read until I was in the 6th grade. If you would have told me that I was going to graduate high school, not college, and get a master's or even write a book, I would have been like, you're not talking about me, you know. But that's because I didn't see that then. Mm-hmm. But you know, your book, The Wealth Formula: Secrets to Financial Freedom, and I love this one. Get yours together with that $sign and a guide to keeping your mind, credit, and money right. Mm-hmm. So what inspired you to write these books, and who is it for?
Oh, absolutely. And so first of all, I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but I'm Black. And so before my dad knew what sex I was going to be, they knew that I was going to be Black. Yes. So it's Black first, Black everything. And so this book is written specifically for people of African descent. But of course, anyone can read it, because economics, mathematics, those types of things, it just applies. I wrote it, Simeon, because I planned on retiring, just chilling out, being low key, right?
Mhm.
And so I post this video on Facebook, and it just goes viral. And where I'm showing how you give young people choices, you let them find their groove, and you don't try to push them into your space or your lane, and how you can help them build credit and build wealth at such a young age. And then when I saw the questions and the responses, because keep in mind, I was in the education bubble. And
Mhm.
so and we can easily get caught up in our own bubbles. So I'm making six figures. I'm the boss. I come home, I go to sleep, I do and so I'm not interacting a whole bunch with the regular world to know how badly messed up our people are when it comes to finances.
Mm.
And so once I was able to get out of that space, and it's like, man, our children are struggling academically, and the parents are struggling financially. And
Mm.
so that was the reason for me writing that book and getting on this path of where, I can't chill out and rest. I can't be sick and tired of being sick and tired. I have to keep working. And so that is why I've lately been pouring into giving more information, sharing about investment strategies, and giving advice on what it is that we can do better, both from the standpoint of financially as well as educationally for ourselves as well as for our children.
And speaking on that, talking about the financial piece and not knowing and just having the knowledge. One of my sponsors is Recon Credit Repair,
Mm.
and their motto is changing lives one credit score at a time. Like, people don't understand how very important having a good credit score is. I know now, and it's because of them that I was able to raise my credit to numbers that I never thought they would get to, or I didn't know if I would see them get to those numbers. But knowledge is power.
Oh, yes,
And that's why we have to pay attention, and then we can get more knowledge when we pay attention. So, and I just really love what you're doing us. And I'm going to take a quick break. So we're celebrating. People are liking the show. People are liking the show. We're celebrating Women's History Month. So I just want to pay homage to you and all of the women that are doing great things. And in the same vein with that, I want to feature a music video by a young lady, Nia Asiel. She graduated from college a year ago. She works for Microsoft. So she's doing very well for herself. But not only that, she's very talented. So what I want to do is I want to take a quick break. We're going to come back with more from Miss Assata, the math genius. We're going to come back and have more from her. But right now, we're going to continue to celebrate Women's History Month. And we're going to do that by showing you a powerful, young, smart woman that's very talented, Nia Asiel. And here's a video, Men Lie.
You said you loved me, but lately I've been feeling like that was just a lie. Yeah, and you said you needed me, then why you wanna leave me out here to dry? I just gone up and walk away. I'm not leaving, I'm just asking you to stay. Mixed emotions and the games you play. Used to love and lay up all day. I'm stressed, you don't know what makes me feel this way. I guess I'ma have a hot girl summer and finesse, 'cause I know that woman ain't gon' hold you down. 6 long years and you ain't stay around. I stayed around, look goofy and I done fell for a clown. You said you loved me, but lately I've been feeling like that was just a lie. Yeah, wasn't no lie. You said you needed me,
call you all day just to say I'm sorry. Been doing the naughty. My heart is colder than a frosty, but you a softie. And VIP, these girls be on me, can't get them off me. I'm always busy on the go, you trying to stay a while. Cause when I'm with you, I say perfect things that make you smile. As many times as we made love, we should've made a child. I know I did you in a few times, I don't say it proud. But babe, I'm down and I hope you down too. Too much on my mind, but I'm still thinking about you. I've been on my grind, I promise I ain't on that. But every time I try, now I see you hold back. Please forget the past, I'm your future. I don't wanna lose you, I'm down to ride like Uber. I should've wifed you sooner. Don't listen to the rumors, I won't tell no lies, no. Without you I go psycho.
You said you love me, but lately I've been feeling like that was just a lie. Oh yeah, I'm lying. Yeah. Oh yeah. And you said you needed me. Girl, I need you. Why you wanna leave me out here to dry?
All right.
That was a hit.
Thank you. Hey,
That's a hit.
feel that her voice,
Man, yes.
is just so dope.
Yes, indeed.
And I told her she has a style that's needed, you know. It's so needed, and it's good music. You know what I'm saying? It's good music.
As soon as she started, it was like, oof.
Man, and
I had to go to YouTube and pull it up, make sure I don't forget it.
Yeah. So everybody, you're watching the Simeon Henderson show, where we're giving a voice to the people, and I am here with a very smart. I love calling you the math genius. I just love doing it. The math genius. And also, as we get going, I want to tell you guys this, that today's show is sponsored by Broken Kingdom, as well as Recon Credit Repair. But Broken Kingdom, you can check them out. It's my buddy William Owens. It's his clothing line, Broken Kingdom, and there's a big meaning behind it. You can follow him on IG at Thrill No Chill. Make sure you check them out, Broken Kingdom. We have to support Black businesses. I mean, you support all businesses, but let's make sure we support Black businesses as they thrive and as they grow. And let's get back to you, young lady. So you've been doing a lot of great things, and you've had a lot of opportunities. And it's one thing I wanted to talk to you about is your visit or your work with the Obama administration. So tell us about your invitation to the White House during the Obama administration. What was that like?
Well, first of all, let's clear this up. I didn't do work for them or with them. He does not know me. All right.
Okay.
So what it is, I'll speak to it though, is in 2009, I was nominated for the Presidential Award for Excellence in Math and Science Teaching. That happened in 2009. Now, in 2015, I did receive an invitation to come, but at this point, I was with a principal, and I was able to bring 2 of my students with me. And this particular event, it was a college promotion piece that was done, and this was done by Michelle Obama. Wale was there, and Terrence hosted it. And we were surprised because not only were we like right smack there with Michelle Obama, and I'm like, man, forget these little kids. I'm getting up front. I'm saying, get out the way. Normally y'all first, but not today.
You know how to do it.
Hey, right. And then we're surprised, and Barack also comes out as well. So it was a fantastic time. It was great for the young people, so it was a huge honor. But at the first time in 2009, it was because of my work as a teacher with mathematics. The second time in 2015, it was because of my work as a principal and the success that I was having with my students going off to college.
So let's go there. So you were a principal.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like, being a principal? Was it an elementary or high school?
High school.
What high school were you at?
University of Chicago Charter School, the Woodlawn campus.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So what was that like for you, being a principal of a high school?
So many different things. As it relates to the children, the young people, it was a lot of fun. I mean, kids are hilarious. They do the dumbest stuff. And for me to naturally be a silly person, but to have to be a principal. And so I have to come down and, as I tell them, bring the hammer, but then to go back into my office and actually laugh at some of the stupid stuff that they would do. With my teachers, it was very rewarding because I loved my staff. And I had a very diverse staff, about 70, 80 people on my team between teachers and everyone. That was fantastic, building relationships, building rapport with them. Mm-hmm. The part that I didn't like was the bureaucratic part, having to deal with budget cuts, having to, make a move based on what politicians are or aren't going to do, dealing with the board and having unrealistic expectations. Sometimes it's as if they want educators to try to throw a tennis ball to the moon. And you just know it's not going to happen. And then sometimes it's like, well, throw 3 of those balls to the moon at the same time. And those are the type of unfortunate situations that a lot of times principals and superintendents find themselves in. But I love being a principal. I loved having that impact, but I loved even more being a teacher, where I could just focus on worried about my babies, worried about my children. And that was pretty much the gist of it. I can go in my classroom, everybody else leave me alone, and I can do my thing.
Yes. I found that when I was teaching and when I went into administration, because I got my type 75, but I was like, I'm not going to be anybody's principal because I've been to cuss somebody out, choke somebody out, because I found that dealing with administration becomes really challenging because you have people that are not in the classroom. Mm-hmm. If they either forget what it was like to be in the classroom, or they've never been in the classroom and they don't know, and they don't see what we see.
Absolutely.
And you get to see the kids and learn the kids on a whole nother level. And then you try to convey that to them and get them to understand. And sometimes they just don't get it because they really don't care. Right. So, I mean, I just have to keep it real. Sometimes they really don't care. Yes. And I think that's one of the things that bother me about administration. And I'm not all administration,
right? But some, you're right. Yeah, there are too many.
Mm-hmm. Not all administration. So now let's get to this. Man, I can't believe this interview is almost over. It's like,
oh wow,
man, we've almost been on for 30 minutes. Yeah. So you have to talk to us about the relevance of investing in digital or in digital cryptocurrency. You have to talk to us about that.
Okay, absolutely. So imagine if you were given the opportunity to invest in .com companies when they first came out in the 90s, when they first came out, before we knew all of the things that our phone would be able to do. Who thought we would be able to put a globe along with all the paper maps, a typewriter, a camera, a microphone, a calendar, your Rolodex, all of this into a phone? We could not imagine that in our early years. So right now, this blockchain technology, that's where we're at with it right now, where the average person has no clue what it is and can't even begin to imagine what's going to happen with it in the future. There's blockchain technology out right now that are going to have lawyers searching for a job.
Wow.
Right. And so, I mean, it's just phenomenal. I mean, the investment side, what we call decentralized finance, meaning it's not controlled by banks or governments, the amount of money that you can make as opposed to having your money in a bank. I took $684 about out of the bank in September, where it wasn't drawing any type of interest. Simeon, I put it into what's called a liquidity pool on a blockchain. And that $680 some since September up to now is almost $4,000.
Wow.
Because what they do is, imagine all the NSF fees that they charge people when they bounce a check, right? I still say bounce a check, but when they do that. So what happens is they share those types of fees with the people that's using their network. Imagine if Chase sent us a check every month, splitting those fees with us, or Facebook shared with us their advertising costs simply because we watched the ad, or if we clicked on it, we were paid even more. So there's a lot of what we traditionally call profit sharing with these cryptocurrencies, because they're decentralized and it's the people that's making the ecosystem work. And to be able to invest in that early, I mean, it's just the growth potential of that is just in the thousands of %.
Man, that's super dope. And so talk to us about your organization, the Introvest.
Yes.
Is that right? Introvest.
The Introvest, yeah. And it's basically combining 2 words, entrepreneur and investor.
Introvest.
Yes.
Introvest.
Yes. And what it is the collection of courses that I have to invest in real estate. We have the Black Math Genius curriculum that's there for the young people. We have investing in cryptocurrency. Here's the thing, when I created the cryptocurrency course, Bitcoin was trading under $4,000. And I was telling people then, early last year, y'all should invest in this because it's going to 100,000. Right now, we're over $50,000. Since I started telling about it, it has 11x. So if you had put in $1,000 when I said to do it, you would have $11,000 right now. And here's the thing, it's going to keep going up. All right. And so I have a course on there, investing in cryptocurrency, investing in Bitcoin before it reaches $100,000, and just different courses that can get you started on a path to being a multi-entrepreneur and a multi-investor. Earlier, you were speaking about these different streams of income. And so there are a number of courses to do, to have there. And what I have on it, these are only courses that I've used and been successful at. There's no Forex on there because I don't do Forex and I haven't been successful at it. You know, so I only put things on there where I've been able to show success myself.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm looking forward to it. And it's one of those things where, like I said before, a lot of us, and I'm saying us because I don't know, a lot of us don't know about cryptocurrency and how lucrative it is, and how that investment can really put you in a really good position, because like we will spend our money on this or that, but we won't invest in ourselves.
Yeah.
We have to learn how to invest in ourselves. And that's what you've done. And you're teaching people how to do it. Yes. So I don't know how I'm going to do it. But I need to get in your class because I need to know, because I just, after this pandemic, like even with my show, I learned how to take it to another level and do all of these different things to make it better. But you're either gonna sink or you're gonna swim. And you're gonna stay at one, level, you're going to grow. And it's like my thing, be symbolic, simply your best, and being deeply rooted stimulates growth. If you're rooted, you're going to grow because, it's like seed time and harvest. You got to plant it. You have to water it. You have to nurture it, give it sunlight. Sometimes you have to talk and sing to it.
Yes. Yeah.
So, before we get out of here, so your pattern as a new age activist, talk to us about your radical and strategic practices of activism with empowering communities on the importance of financial education. And I love your prof, by the way.
Oh, thank you. So, all, revolutionary radical acts don't have to be extreme. So one of the radical financial acts that I did was to not move out of my neighborhood when I made it. And so I stay on the block to serve as a role model, to understand, because it's so easy to get a nice apartment downtown, which is what I wanted to do, to have a doorman and be able to walk out into my community, right? And then look back and say, they need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and not realizing that not everyone is like me. Not everyone is going to make the same choices. And so instead of passing judgment, to stay in the fight and to help. And so that's one way. On the more extreme side, as far as, this financial revolution and radicalization, if you will, I applied for dispensary licenses here in Illinois. And the amount of corruption that has happened, Simeon, there's one Black-owned dispensary in this state. 12 Asians. How many Asians do we recall being locked up and thrown across cars, being locked up for cannabis? There are 2 Hispanic ones. There are 214 white-owned. And so cannabis has gone from the Black man, and I know this is Women's History Month, but we got to recognize our brothers. Right. The Black man was the face when it was a criminal enterprise. Now they have erased the Black man, legalized it, and they are creating multi-millionaires for white communities. And they're still creating generational wealth after they criminalize us, marginalize us, destroyed our neighborhoods, dehumanize our men, put them in prison and make them work for free for profit companies, and now won't even allow them into the door.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Simeon Henderson Show, where we are giving a voice to the people. And today, as we are celebrating and empowering women, we have the math genius and entrepreneur, author, and just all around great person, Assata. it's just an honor. Everything that you've given us, these nuggets and these tools and this insight, and it's a wealth of information. And we just really appreciate you for doing that and taking this time. Before we get out of here, before I let you go, we have to do the 5 things that you need to know right here on the Simeon Henderson Show by our very own Chicago Fly Guy. So we're going to do the 5 things that you need to know, and then we're going to come back and say goodbye to our very special guest. So here are the 5 things that you need to know right here on the Simeon Henderson Show.
It's America's favorite personality, your Chicago Fly Guy, bringing you the top 5 things that you need to know because it's Women's History Month. Number 5, Susan B. Anthony is the first woman to appear on the U.S. coin. Susan made her debut on the coin in 1979. Number 4, Billie Holiday is known for her song, Strange Fruit. Strange Fruit? Well, the song was about the lynchings of Black Americans, and it was recorded in 1939. Even the days of Jim Crow couldn't keep Lady Day silenced. Number 3, Viola Davis. Y'all remember Amy from The Help? She is one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people in the world. Congratulations, Viola. Y'all remember Amy? You is kind, you is smart, you is important. Number 2, Wilma Rudolph was told at the age of 11 that she would never walk again. But Wilma was determined. She became the fastest woman in the world. Go Wilma! Woo! Yes, Wilma Rudolph was also an Olympian. Congratulations, Wilma. And the number 1 thing that you need to know is that we can all thank Alice H. Parker for heat. Yes, when it's cold outside, Alice redefined the furnace and the thermostat. Thank you, Alice, because it's cold in the shop. I'm your Chicago Fly Guy, and this has been the best 411 and top 5 things that you need to know for Women's History Month on the Simeon Henderson Show.
I don't know what the Fly Guy been smoking, but I want to.
Right.
Oh, he is so entertaining. I love it.
Yes, indeed. That's fantastic.
Before we get out of here, I want you, you know, my thing is be symbolic, simply your best. So you tell me which shirt you want, and you know the tree being deeply rooted stimulates growth. I'm going to make sure, there it is. I'm going to make sure that you get your shirt because you are simply your best.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And I like the first one. Thank you so much.
You like the gray one, right?
Yes.
Okay, got you. All right. So, and you know, it's always you offer somebody something, you be like, "Ooh, don't take this one. Don't take this one." But I truly appreciate you, everybody. Thank you guys for joining the show.
Thank you.
Everybody that's watching it, that's going to rewatch it. Make sure you share the show on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the Simeon Henderson channel because I'm trying to do some good in the hood. And we've been having some great shows. And today we have Miss Assata. She is the founder of the Entre. How you say it?
You got it. I'm not correcting. You got it.
Okay. The Entrevest.
Yes.
And she is doing some great things. She was able to retire from a regular job at the age of 41. So that should tell you something. She knows what she's talking about because she's studied and been approved. And I want you guys, I want to give a big shout out to my executive producer, Jamani and Amdi, my producer, Jose Perez, and Shelton Smith, my creative director. And I have to give a shout out to Recon Credit Repair, one of my sponsors, and the other sponsor for today, Broken Kingdom. And I appreciate you guys and thank you for joining the Simeon Henderson Show. Before we get out of here, Ms. Assata, can you please tell everybody how your social media handles?
Yes. My name that's scrolling across on Facebook at Lamailede More. That's mostly where I hang out. I'm Crypto Assata on Twitter and Instagram. Crypto Assata on Twitter and Instagram. And so if you want the real me, I'm on Facebook. I'm strictly crypto on Twitter.
Okay. And I'm not going to put you on blast, but I just want you to know that I would really appreciate if you help me out and give me some of that knowledge so I can learn how to get to the next level.
Have Sheldon contact me. I'll do something for anyone on your show that wants it. I do a whole thing for you all.
That's it. And then I'll make sure I get in touch with you. I'll send you an email and get you my information.
Yes.
And I can get yours, and then we can move. That's the cool thing about being a show host. You get to connect with great people.
Yes.
It's not about that one show. It's about taking it further so people learn the importance of partnership. I did a piece about that, and I'm going to do a piece with my buddy Mel Robeson, and we're going to talk about the importance of partnership.
Absolutely.
To understand it is very important. So without further ado, everybody, I'll see you guys later. Remember to be symbolic, simply your best. And we are celebrating Women's History Month all month long right here on the Simeon Henderson Show. Thank you to our beautiful guest, Miss Assata. We'll see you next time. Peace.